All right, we're live. Say hello, dude.
Hey.
We were talking about the backdrop. Mr. Kreitz,
Yeah.
what's up? Actually, let me do something. Hold on real quick. Even though we're live, sometimes we do have to do things on the fly. I think there we go. All right, man, here we go. Hello, everybody. All right, now we'll do a formal. Nice to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, sir.
All right, hello, everybody. My name's Alex Vidal. I am Regional Vice President for Coldwell Banker here in DFW, and welcome to the 128th episode of The Closer Club. Today, we are filming from what is probably one of my favorite restaurants on the planet. It's called DeLuca. If you can think of Texas to Brazil for steak, it's the same. They come from Texas to Brazil, but for gourmet pizza. And today we're here with Matthew, and right after this, we're actually going to be celebrating our Fort Worth Award winners for 2020.
Yes.
But before that, we're taking a special moment to celebrate with Matt, sorry. And we're going to talk about, no, we have not drank wine yet.
No, not yet. It's coming.
It's coming.
It is coming. It is coming.
We want to talk about his rise to success. And one of the things, if you go through my Instagram, you'll see a lot of photos of Matt and I together. So you ready, dude?
Absolutely. Let's talk. Let's go.
I'm coffeeed up. Sorry, got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Matt, okay, so we have audiences in Florida,
Yep.
actually across the country, Texas, obviously. Who's Matt?
I am a 41-year-old, aggressive, kind-hearted, loving, passionate individual who just loves what he does. And I think I've kind of driven that into my job, and I think that's where my successes came from.
Now, how long have you been in real estate?
Going on 9 years, but 8 years now.
8 years, going on 9. And by the way, my phone did not charge on the way up, so we're hoping it doesn't die as we go through here. And if not, we'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, one of the things I love about your story is, dude, you were a DJ before getting into real estate.
I was.
So how did you get in? How did you transition from DJ to real estate? Like, what got you turned on to real estate?
I had always done sales my whole life. So, kind of from my first job all the way to, my job out of, doing promotion and stuff like that for clubs, I was basically selling the party, selling the show, selling items. So it was always really in my business that I've done. It was always something that I was always passionate about. I was in retail for quite some time, and my father-in-law, who is a helicopter salesman, helicopter salesman, international helicopter salesman, told me one day that I needed to sell bigger ticket items. And so I started kind of looking into real estate. I had a friend who's in the business, Josh Inman, and he started kind of showing me some stuff that really made me passionate about it. The way that we were working with people, showing people something that was going to make a difference in their life, something that people really wanted. To me, that was the difference. That's what made me want to fully pursue it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I love about the story is how you actually got started. So you've been in the business, when you really look at it, not a very long time, right? 9 years is not a long time. 8 years is not a long time. Yeah. But the way you got started with no shame in the game.
No.
Share with the audience what you did to get started in the business.
It's about a grind, and I think you kind of, when you first start, you're picking up everything you can get. I started taking company leads. I started going out to all the top producers in the office and just saying, hey, what do you have? What do you have that you're not able to convert or able to answer? Whatever it is that you're not willing to answer, hand it over to me. I'll call it, I'll convert it. And I think after a while, they started actually seeing some of that conversion. And I started building my own business, and I started having other agents in the office going, hey, would you like to take these leads? I started getting to the point where I was actually having to deny some of them. Yep. But it was through that process that I learned how to farm, how to grow my business, and really how to handle this industry.
Got it. Now, you guys don't know what's going on behind the camera. The award winners are showing up, so it's kind of distracting because they're waving to us as they're walking by. All right, so when that happened, okay, you're doing this, you're taking the leads coming in from the team, from the different agents in the office. At what point did you start flipping to doing your own business and converting? And what were you doing then to do that?
I want to say it was my second year, I started to realize that there was value in just reaching out and communicating with those individuals that I had worked with for the past couple of years. Through that experience, I started to kind of build my network, started to build my market, started to understand how to advertise to these individuals, what they wanted to see on social media, how they wanted to be spoken to, the consistency and the level that you have to continue every year when it comes to reaching out to them. And just building relationships. I think that's really what it was. I want to say it was my second year is when I really started to kind of figure that out.
Now, you said something on social media, which was the piece of Facebook. I know you're big into Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Facebook ads. And by the way, no script, and again, it's noisy, there's people talking and all that stuff.
I think the biggest thing for Facebook for me is you have to learn how to use it. You have to know your market that you're advertising to when you do use it. The part of it for me that's worked is I boost a lot of ads. Obviously, I did promotion, and so I used a lot of that list that I had to generate some interest in some of these homes. But really, it just kind of helps me go down different avenues and different people. I can kind of specify which market I want to advertise to. If I know that this house is more geared towards a retired individual, I kind of can gear my promotions towards that, and it's really helped me specify what I want to do and where I want to be.
Okay, so talk to me about the actual content of the ad itself.
Yeah.
What are you putting in the ads? Like, what is it? Just like, hey, if you're interested in buying or selling, call me. Or are you putting actual listing content? Like, what are you doing?
It's a mixture of everything. I think you got to kind of mix it up and keep it fresh. One of the things is you got to do videos. You do have to do. We got it big into the virtual reality stuff whenever the pandemic stuff hit. So that stuff was really nice to have people to kind of get in there, interact. Pictures are fantastic, but really just kind of highlighting the pluses of the neighborhood. Don't overwhelm them with just a bunch of info, but pinpoint it. Really point out the pluses of the home.
Do you find that general market information does better than a specific home, or does a specific home do better than general market info?
I think a specific home does better than general market info. Yeah, because I think each home has its own personality and its own characteristics, and especially a neighborhood in general. I mean, everybody moves into a specific neighborhood in an area because it's kind of them. It's where they want to be.
Sure.
I oftentimes, when we're starting searches, tell people, hey, do me a favor. Hang out there at night. Go there at night. Go take a look at the restaurants. Go take a look at the schools. Check out the traffic. Get the feel of the vibe in the area. If that's a place that you want to be, we need to start digging in that area and looking for stuff.
Got it.
So
now, talk to me. One of the things I love is your wife is in the printing business, right? She helps run some major printers, of which you've been able to leverage, right, to the positive. And so you are starting to bomb neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
What are you sending in your mailers? How frequently are you sending it? How big is your market? Like, talk to me about that.
Mailers have been good. Mailers have actually been a pretty big part. I mean, it's part of the.
By the way, did you hear that? Mailers are still good.
Yes,
guys.
They are. It's part of the. And I actually learned this from Coldwell Banker. They actually the 5 spinning plates, and I think that's something that we learned right from the get-go, which is as long as you're making sure and touching all 5 of those plates, which Mailouts is part of it.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. You should be able to emphasize more on the ones that are your strengths. For me, obviously, social media is a strength, so I emphasize on that. But mailouts have been fantastic. I've got a little bit of a foot up because I've got I've got it inside.
So what are you sending? I'm not gonna, and then I'm gonna go back to the 5 plates because I'm learning about the 5 plates.
Just listed, just sold. Wanting to know what your value is in your home. Little bio on who I am as an agent. Some of the past sales in the neighborhood that they've had. Some of the basically, every year I love to send out the 401k information as far as it goes with. I'm so sorry. The Homestead information.
I know it's hard. It's hard with people talking. It's typically not
got a lot of background noise here.
There is.
But yeah, the Homestead information is kind of a good way to start off here, just connecting. And I think everybody's really when you talk about taxes, I think that's the number one thing that grabs people's attention.
For sure.
So yeah.
How frequently are you mailing?
Once a month, at least twice a month.
Got it. And how big is the area you're mailing? Again, he gets a special discount.
Yeah, 15, 20,000.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to look at 15, 20,000 pieces, by the way, what's one thing that you're doing now that you foresee yourself doing for the rest of your career in the business? Like, what's your go-to that you're doing?
Probably my favorite thing that I love to do is, and we're not getting a whole lot of it these days, is I love to show up to clients' kids' games.
Okay.
Bring snacks, sponsor teams, things like that. I'm a sports guy,
yeah,
so obviously
big
I like
Notre Dame fan.
Yeah, big time Notre Dame.
We both
fan.
got our butts kicked in the bowl games.
Yeah, wasn't a really.
Didn't work out for us.
Yeah. But that's the thing I love. I think when it all comes down to it, I ultimately like to be in front of people, and I like to interact with people. I like to show people that I care, and I think that you show that by actually showing up to these type of events. Not even talking real estate and just bringing snacks for the kids, sponsoring teams. That's it.
Well, I think I do think that's one of your strong points, Matt. Is you're a chill, down to earth, super cool guy. He took me to Heim Barbecue down here in Fort Worth, which was amazing.
Gotta have some Texas barbecue if you're gonna come.
I'm not even sure. I'm gonna check if let me check if we're still filming real quick to make sure the battery's still going. Hey, all right, cool. We're still going. So,
all right.
Again, there's nobody behind the camera other than those walking by.
Yep.
All right, you said the 5 spinning plates, and then I'm gonna ask one last question.
Yes.
What are the 5 spinning plates?
So the 5 spinning plates are anything that you essentially kind of load them up to be. But for me, it would be social media, mailouts, your sphere of influence, your I'm gonna get frozen here on my thigh. Your sphere of influence, past sales, for sure. And then I would say your 5th one you can kind of get creative because that does change all the time. Your 5th one is probably going to be, for instance, with me, this next go round is doing more creative posts, whether that's not on social media, whether that's on blogs, whether that's on emails to my clients, things like that. Just being a little bit more creative and trying to mix it up, trying to recreate the wheel.
Bring your DJ days back.
I don't know if they want to see the DJ side, but yes. I've actually had a couple of them ask me to do weddings. And
really?
Stuff. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, I ask this in every interview, a book, podcast, or TED Talk recommendation for the audience.
I would probably say the second most recent TED Talk, which is The World Needs More Creative, Different Minds, by Hilta Garden, I believe is what her name was. Fantastic episode. It really kind of talks a little bit more about what you capture in every one of your closer episodes, which is each agent is a different individual, and we're all kind of specified for a certain group of people to help out finding their niche. And I think that she kind of goes over that a little bit about how the world needs different minds. We need creativity in all different types of life. That's what keeps us going around.
There you go. Matt, first off, congratulations on a killer 2020. I know you're already rocking it in 2021.
Thank you.
It's time for us to go celebrate. Hopefully the battery's still going. If you want to see, I think we're going to have to do a part 2 because there was a lot of background noise.
There might be, yes.
But we're going to do a part 2 anyways. Maybe with him playing the DJ tables when we kick off part 2. I'm going to go turn off the camera. Any parting words for the audience?
Thank you, and I appreciate it.
How do they find you?
You can go to matthew.kreitz@cbdfw.com. Email me there, or m.kreitz real estate, and that's my website.
There you go.